And that is what we are trying to actually ignite as part of this sports summit. I will stop here with one last example. There is an amateur surfing ecosystem that exists in the southern part of India. It happens, on one side it happens from Varkala. I'm hearing that there is a little bit of activity in Bepur. And on the other side, it also happens in Mahabalipuram. So I had a bit of a chat with the Surf Federation of India. There are 19 amateur surf schools that is working out of Varkala. Nobody would believe. If you go to the Black Beach, you will see people coming from all over India, mostly ladies, learning how to surf. So we mooted this idea of a small business incubator, wherein we want to create equipment that will capture, and that is where the IoT will come into the picture. Just imagine your surfboard having a small sensor attached to it, which will capture the patterns in which you will do the surfing. And imagine at the end of the day, you can actually go to a room wherein you could recreate how did you surf for the day. Compare it with some of the expert surfers of the world and say that this is how you would be able to refine your movements so that you can better yourself. So the point that I'm trying to make is training, which I forgot the name of the coach of PT Usha. Was it Nambiar? Nambiar. Well, Nambiar coaching PT Usha is going to largely change. It is going to be the AI or the machine coaching the players all the way from school. So training and refinement is also going to be a major area where AI is going to come and play. I will stop here. Again, like I said, it's not that I have done any of this. This is a story that I cooked up, but I'm pretty certain that this story is going to turn out right in the days to come, and I hope that there will be a part for us to play when that story unfolds. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Anup, for that interesting story of immersion and potential opportunity in that space. Now I would request Mr. Ravi Chanda, CEO of Noscope Gaming, to share his insights on this opportunity space. Over to you, Ravi.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First, I'd like to thank Government of Kerala, Shri Honorable Chief Minister Shri Pinarayi Vijayanji, and Honorable Sports Minister Shri V. Abdur Rahmanji, and Honorable Revenue Minister K. Rajanji, and distinguished guests on the stage, as well as the audience in this room. And Shri Anup Ambikaji very beautifully explained how this digital experience, how the AI, how this personalization, and what is going to be in the future. Very good story. Thank you very much. It's very much connected, understand to the people. AI is not a new technology. We all know that. And AI is not new, but we are in this time, we are able to consume and utilize AI in a better way. Let me tell you the story real quick. This is my personal experience with my own kids, as well as I spoke to a few other kids in India. Last couple of years, I visited several schools and colleges in India. And as well as, just like any Indian parent, I live in US for last 25 years. My kids born in US, raised in US, but they also visited India every year. Just like any parent, I said, my kid is keep playing in the computer, keep playing on his mobile. I said, one day, you're wasting your time, and what are you doing really? And we are having a breakfast one day. He said, Dad, I need to go back to my computer again. So what are you doing? You know what he said? Oh, I am building a house and I need to cut the wood. What do you need to do? He said, I need to cut the wood. So what kind of wood are you going to cut? And then he gave me the measurements. I need a 8-inch by 8-inch, 10 feet tall. I need a 4 by 4, 7 feet tall. And then then I went back to his room and he said, what are you doing? Show me what you're doing. And he's building a house. He doesn't know where the wood comes from. The wood comes from the trees, but we go to the Home Depot to get the wood. That's a small story, how he learned what type of wood is needed, what are the measurements, and how to cut it. Later I visited India, several schools. Simple question I asked one kid, is in 5th grade, and I asked the same question to the 7th grade, I asked the same question to the 10th grade. So what do you eat? He said, I like the rice and papo. Okay, great. Where the rice comes from? Where the rice comes from? And the kid was looking back to the teacher, like where the rice comes from, and then he answered, oh, my mom goes to the store ABC, she gets the rice. And one said, oh, my driver goes to the store and gets the rice. And then they said, okay, that's how, so it comes from the store. That was the story. So the technology, basically, how the people, a lot of people said the same thing. You have to utilize it correctly. Abdul Rahman ji, when I spoke to him about the esports, he is very smart. He personally witnessed some of the technology, example of the boxing, example of the virtual tennis. And then these are the tools where it's not just in sports. The vision of any technologies or any company should be, how do we leverage the same technology to enhance the kids from their young age so that they will tell where the rice comes from correctly. And then they can enhance their physical, mental abilities to learn and then be part of that in the society correctly. And another example is VR, right? We all think that VR. So what is the VR really? What is the VR really? Is virtually you can see things where you cannot demonstrate. Let's say there is a great coaches in India. There are great coaches for the cricket or great coaches for the boxing, great coaches for the tennis. But how many coaches are really available to address the kids in the school, colleges and universities? How many people can correct how you are moving your body, how you are utilizing your arm power and whatnot? So that's where the technology comes into play. That's where the Kerala government is really wanted to help. Not just the e-sport, not just the AI. How do we use this technology to bring these kids up, to learn better things, talk about space, talk about anatomy, talk about geography. So you can really show the kids what that really looks like. You can get into the space, just like Anup ji said, you can get into the stadium by sitting in the classroom. So this is how I think that in the future of the technology is going to be. Of course, there are advantages, disadvantages all over. And disadvantages are everywhere. We should not drive because there may be a bad driver out there, the roads are not good, there may be an accident. But are we stop driving? So today in India, if you fast forward, if you go back to the 20 years ago, there are not many cars in India. But today look at how many cars. People are still driving. Of course, roads got better. So the point is that as a leaders on the government, what are they trying to do is utilize the technology in a controlled fashion where that can help the kids from the younger age. Coming to the AI, coming to the esports, I give you some economy numbers where the India is and where India will be. So our goal for the no-scope standpoint of view is we wanted to put, India is excelling everywhere. right? Every field, India will be far better than anybody in the world. But that we want to have a better infrastructure, provide better infrastructure so that esports and training also can be better than anybody else. We don't need to rely on, the best coach who can come once a year to coach the kids. He can coach thousands of kids where he is through the virtual technology. Let me go back to the real quick on the AI, where the AI is. If you look at the India 2023, there are 568 million players, gamers, esports players. 568 million gamers, and then the global gaming market is reaching about 3.1 billion last year, 2023, and it is projected to be 7.5 billion by 2028 worldwide. There is an opportunity, especially for the state of Kerala, because no one took this kind of initiative in India. Government of Kerala is the first one conducting ISSK and having just a sports summit to encourage all the people all over the world to take this forward for the state of Kerala. So FIFA, a lot of FIFA fans are here. So FIFA already implemented AI last year. It's called, what is this called? Semi-automated offside technology. It's powered by AI. So it's already there. Rugby in Australia, they also implemented AI. As Anup ji said, that the gaming aspect of cricket, now you can do a better analysis, better predictions, and with the AI technology. So AI is not a new. How do we leverage, how to utilize, and how to utilize to the betterment of the society? That's where that you can overcome of the disadvantages. So betterment of the society is always start from the kids in the school. So that's what we are about. That's where we are join our hands together with the government of Kerala, and looking forward to have many more sessions like this and to bring the awareness and technology in the schools, colleges, and universities around the Kerala. And thank you very much. Thanks for this opportunity.
Thank you, Ravi, for specifying the gamification opportunity in learning and using technology to provide quality training, coaching to masses. Now we'll move on to Sri Kumar, Central Head Tata Lexi. Sri Kumar, we would love to hear from you the corporate perspective when it comes to leveraging technology in sports and potentially in esports. Over to you.
Dignitaries on and off the dais, my dear friends. Discussing more and more of technology after a sumptuous lunch inside an air-conditioned auditorium might not be the best of things at this point of time. But then, a couple of points which I would like to make on how AI and technology is going to help the upcoming sports scenario in the country and across the globe might be relevant. In fact, Anup has already mentioned most of it. But then, coming from the industry and from the industry body, a couple of points would seem to be relevant in today's context. Looking back over how sports has evolved, more from physical activity to a blend of commercial and physical activity, and proceeding towards a fully corporate event in the coming years, we will see more and more of technology and more of business innovations that will engulf or consume all sporting activity across the globe. I remember my young days when we had a black and white television at home which showed sporting events in the country and a bit of what happened across outside the country. Those were days when television came into the country and immediately what followed was the national games, which was hosted at Delhi. So almost all the sporting events were shown live on television. But as Anup mentioned, every venue had only one camera, and we were able to see only action from one side. The 360-degree view, as we call today, was never imagined those days. Today we have a sporting activity being covered from multiple corners, mixed well, shown to us in a manner which creates or which gives us an impression of moving around the stadium and watching it from all corners at all angles and better understanding the game and sport. Technology or AI can always facilitate, but the real sporting activity will be carried out by the real sportsman physically, which will be the best of action, which will be the best of sport that can ever happen. But AI and technology will always facilitate, support to enhance the viewing of sports. It will also train sportsmen beyond what normal coaches can possibly do. We had these bowling machines for batsmen to practice. That came even 10 years before. Machines which would bowl all sorts of balls to the batsmen, and batsmen could get trained on whatever possibility of balls that come to them at whatever speeds and whatever length and whatever spin. There are a lot of apparatus available today, gadgets available today to gauge the physical preparedness of a sportsman. There are wearables, there are other gadgets which can be of use to determine how well equipped or how prepared is a sportsman to participate in a sporting event. There are a lot of equipments supported by technology which will gauge whether a sportsman has consumed anything extra to boost up his energy levels for immediate gains. So these are some of the areas where technology has already intervened. But the advent of artificial intelligence, as supportive and as disruptive in many of the industries, will again be imminent in the sporting activity too. Anup mentioned about the e-referee, where there was a third umpire, and the third umpire took the support of an image or a video to decide on the fate of a batsman. The same will happen with other sporting activities also, where artificial intelligence tools and applications will decide on what is the outcome of the game. There will be data analytics happening in the background to give you predictions of what's going to happen ahead, on what kind of new additions will happen in each of the sporting events. There will be player performance analysis. There will be personalized training and diet plans for sportsmen. Even recruitment into sports teams, national teams and state teams might happen out of data analytics which come out of AI. Sports journalism will also find big advantages in AI support. And today, as we move to a commercial environment in sports, the fan engagement will definitely be a big factor where AI can play a crucial role. It can provide inputs into what kind of fan engagement happens, what kind of fan response happens, and what is the commercial element that should go into influencing all these fans. As I said earlier, fitness and health improvement of sports personalities will depend on AI inputs. Coming to the local scenario, while we congratulate the organizers of this event, I don't think any of this sort of event has happened any time before in Kerala. So this is one step ahead in promoting sports and bringing up sportsmen from this part of the country. Kerala has always been known for outstanding performances by sportsmen, but over the last few years, we see a decline in the rankings and decline in the number of outstanding performances. So this has to be corrected at very nascent young stage. I also represent an organization called GTech, which is a group of technology companies. And as an industry body of IT companies in Kerala, we are committed to supporting sports too. We already have conducted basic discussions with the ministry in how to support all these initiatives from an industry perspective. Group of technology companies has a platform called MuLearn. Those of you who have not heard about it before, you could search on the internet and find out MuLearn. MuLearn is a learning platform, a skilling platform, which was initially designed to bridge the gap between industry and academia. But today we are thinking of or planning about adding sports and games as one of the interest groups in this platform. This platform is open to all, free of cost, and particularly to the beneficiaries, the youngsters of the state, it will be absolutely free of cost. This will bring all the stakeholders of a particular activity into one platform, and this will bridge the gap between entities and hopefully be of value to the activity it is concentrated on. So, while we plan to bring in sports and games as an interest group into MuLearn, it will have a ripple effect on the young crowd in Kerala, because MuLearn already has 30,000 students, college students, most of them engineering college students, 150 colleges in the platform, and all the major universities and institutions in the academia which are in Kerala, including the IIMs, the NIT, and KTU and DU. So all of these young community is already available in MuLearn, and when we bring sports and games as an interest group there, it's going to create a ripple effect on the young crowd here, and it will always obviously create the best of talent, both from a technology perspective as well as from the physical sporting activity. I hope this kind of summits create opportunities for people from the industry and the businesses also to participate and contribute back to the society in such manners. And I hope sincerely that such initiatives from the government and from the organizers prove successful in creating better sportsmen from the state. Wishing this all the success and thanking you again.
Thank you, Sri Kumar, for sharing your insights on the initiatives such as MuLearn. Now we have Sri Bahadur Shahidi and the International Sports Documentary Specialist, and along with him we have 2012 Olympic wrestling medalist Jimmy Ledwell. Over to you, Ms. Bahadur and Jimmy, to share your insights on international perspectives in this space.
Hej. Jag tackar stort för inbjudan från ISSK och vår partner lokal RBS.
First of all, I want to thank for the invitation from ISSK and our partner RBS.
En stort tack för att ni kommer att visa min dokumentärfilm ikväll på biografen här klockan 9. Och tack för den visningen också.
Tonight on the cinema at 9:30 they will be showing one of the documentaries that I did, and it's actually about my life as a wrestler in Sweden.
Ja, det handlar om honom. Och jag ska säga typ, jag är en traditionell filmregissör, så på något sätt jag har blivit tvungen att bli involverad, blandad i AI-system och AI och e-sport.
From the beginning I was a old school traditional film director, but lately I has been forced to set myself into the AI technology and how you can use that knowledge of mine to make the technology more interesting.
Ja, så exakt. Ja. Ja, jag har lärt mig att hur kan man göra den teknologi mer intressant? För att vi har en verklighet om våra barn, den här yngre generation, som beroende av den här teknologin. Och den här verkligheten kan man aldrig slippa. Så min roll i den här betyder att göra den mer intressant med erfarenheten som jag har från filmvärlden som regissör.
So when it comes to the technology, for example, in traditional sports, they start using AI technology for testing. I work as a physical coach. We start using it more and more. And we have been using the knowledge from Mr. Bahadur to make the testing more understandable for the kids and more interesting for the kids. And same when it comes to e-sport, he help some developer when they develop the games to make it more interesting and more learnable. So that's how he came into this part, from his old school knowledge of directing films till how you can use the technology in sport.
Ja, vi har testat att när vi gjorde någon testingfilm, för att jag tror att den här tekniken används rätt bra i ett land som är Sverige. Så helt enkelt, man väljer fina vinklar, gör en rätt resultat av den här, och då såg vi effekten var stort, som väckte stora intresse, mer folk som sökte efter sådana saker. Så helt enkelt min erfarenhet från filmvärlden var en stor hjälp att blanda den med den här teknologin.
So he said that we are right now in the middle of two worlds that's coming together, the old school traditional way of doing it and the new way of doing it. And I'm from the old school, like sport, traditional sport, and it's very important that the technology is not taking over like totally. We cannot forget about how important it is to have the relationships with the athletes. So we are speaking a little bit more about the perspective from the athlete side and the coach's side. So not from the spectator side. But in Sweden, we've been using now the AI technology in, like I said, a lot of testings. We are ahead in the world of that part. And tomorrow I'm going to speak about grassroots development of sports. And there I'm going to speak more about what I think you need to do here to really develop more international athletes in the future. You have to start very early. So when I worked together with Bahadur, he helped me to make those, like we said, testings and those kind of applications more useful and more understandable for the kids. So if you really want to make the tomorrow's stars, you have to start down in the ages. So we work in the age group 7 till 17. So I can just say one extra thing that I add myself. We've been listening to some of the former speakers, not in this seminar, but some earlier. And it seems like they speak a lot of what to do on the top, like, okay, maybe we have to bring in knowledge from other countries, or maybe we have to build a new stadium. But I think it's mostly what you do in the younger age groups. You have to build a fundamental thing down there, educate the coaches, and there you can bring in knowledge from other countries. If I should start a cricket school in Sweden, I should bring in knowledge from you guys. So I think you have to start down there. You have to be patient, you have to build from the base, and tomorrow I'm going to speak more about that.
Yes.
Mr. Bahadur, you have something to say?
Angående e-gaming, jag såg en bra resultat också, som jag kan säga en exempel. Som sagt, det här är en verklighet som man kan inte slippa. Våra barn sitter framför TV i gaming och vi kan inte prata bara om generella och helheten. Vi kan inte bara prata att det här är ett problem, det här är bra, hur ska man lösa det där? Så vi måste bli involverade i det där och göra det mer intressant och göra det mer pedagogiskt. Så till exempel sekvensen på alla gamespel som vi regisserar de sekvenserna mellan 2 level för att göra det mer intressant, mer pedagogiskt. Så då har det bra effekt också. Som efter den barnen följde den där sekvenserna som jag till exempel regisserat och har en bra resultat, alltså kom på någonting bra.
So the last part is said that all the knowledge that you have here in India, you're in front of in the world when it comes to the technology side. So if you can use that competence that you have here to take the next step and to build it into traditional sport and to the e-sport, he think that in the future India will be in top when it comes to many sports. It's just a matter of time how you build these two worlds together, the old school traditional way of doing it and the new technology, the AI and so on. But like he said, you have to do it like with knowledge and step by step and not only relate on the new technology. You need both of the worlds. But you have a lot of knowledge here, so it will be very interesting to follow the future. And if you are interested in watching one documentary that he did, it will be shown 9:30 at the theater.
9:30, yes. You're welcome and watch the
And
film.
you're all welcome if you want to watch. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sri Bahadur and Jimmy, for sharing that interesting insight. How do we leverage technology for having more international participants from our part of the world and leveraging technology for providing good quality coaching. That's a key to success. That's what he said. So let's recap what happened here from the panel. Anup Ambika talked about immersive experience and potential implications on the economy, and he also mentioned a specific surfing example where technology becomes interesting from an entrepreneurial perspective. We had Ravi talking about gaming as a learning experience and how do we connect, how do we use that, how do we use technology to empower or teach kids, and technology as an opportunity to connect back and possibly connect back to teach students. And he gave an interesting example of a rice being being identified by a kid, and how do you connect back to our culture, because when it comes to Indian sports items or sports games which are very contextual to the Indian context, can we use that? That's a question that we have for you. Can we use technology as an enabler to spread that awareness? Then we had Sri Kumar talking about the new initiative where sports become one of the pillars of the GTech MULearn, and also talk about the commercial opportunity that's happening around. We had our last speaker, Sri Bahadur and Jimmy, talking about a need for internationalization and leveraging technology for providing good quality coaching. And the athletes, he specifically mentioned about the athletics and need for leveraging technology, and he said his reason for getting into it's primarily when technology was leveraged for testing. So now we have a Q&A session. I'll ask just one question probably to all the panelists. When we move from the web 1.0, which is called the consumer web, somebody created web, we consumed it. We moved to what is called social web, where we had an opportunity to represent our content. We started writing blogs, we started creating social media content and all that. Now we are in an era of what is called creative web, which is web 3. And Anup Ambika specifically talk about the opportunity when you bring digital into the sports, right, and creating opportunity for the creator, right? Primarily targeting the creator is a huge potential. And India having definitely the demographic dividend, we do have people who can contribute to this cause. And how do you see this opportunity going forward? from the Indian perspective as well as from Kerala in particular, leveraging the demographic dividend in enabling the creator economy, which include content on one aspect as well as leveraging technology for internationalization. Over to you, Anup.
Thank you, Ashraf. Yeah, I personally think that we are a pool of creators here in Kerala for sure. You know, I want to take pride in that. We have created excellent movies, we have created excellent cartoons, we have created excellent artwork, and the way in which I think sports is going to emerge is, until now somebody needed to define the rules, create a new game, and a lot of people physically had to get engaged in that game for the game to become popular. So whether you are liking cricket or whether you are bored with cricket, you're stuck with cricket. That is the way it worked, or a certain set of games that you have already provided. But the creator economy or the digital economy that is coming along with these sports or games is going to open up a new world to creators to think and come up with games that are completely unheard of or unseen of right now, which means it could eventually trigger the creator economy also. What is the opportunity? The opportunity is immense. The opportunities are seamless, I would say, because it has only been, so that is where this generative AI comes into play, Ashraf. Before, I needed a designer to draw a picture. I needed an editor to create a video. I needed a lot of creative help and a lot of tools that I needed to learn to create something. All that has changed now. I can just ask a computer to draw a picture of a cricket man or create a video of a cricket man facing a, I don't know, whatever ball that he is facing, and he will create that video, or it will create that video for you, right? Which means that my imagination can be put to work very easily. I can devise a new game. I can ask the computer to show how it is being played. I can actually demonstrate it to a whole bunch of people, and if there is a lot of following, I have a new game or I have a new sport. That actually creates an immense opportunity for the creator economy, and I personally believe with the new AVGC, animation, video, gaming and comics and extended reality policy that we have put in place recently. It's out as a draft and people are only looking at it. A lot of incentives are being offered for these creators to come and create new content or new games, and I personally believe that is going to be a huge opportunity.
Thank you, Anup, for that interesting. Just one question from to Ravi. Indian context, specifically Indian sports context, is very relevant, and we are living in an era of globalizing the Indian context. And how do you see that as an opportunity in the esports arena?
Well, as I mentioned, India is excelling in every field. I feel that in the esports, I feel by providing the proper infrastructure and whatnot, and India will be the global leader in esports as well.
Okay.
But given that, as Anup said, as the government of Kerala has already initiated this proposal, as you provide the infrastructure, as you provide the training, and then India can be on the global.
Thank you. So in the interest of time, we'll move to questions from the audience. I have a couple of questions. One is on definitely leveraging infrastructure in a commercialization fashion, which Srikumar mentioned. The other is on, there is this UCI talking about an esports academy, and documentation becomes key there. does Kerala has an opportunity to look into that dimension? That's a question to Sri Bahadur and Jimmy. E-Sports Academy in Education, just like what Sri Kumar mentioned, that's another question, that's an opportunity for possibly for Kerala and India in particular. Over to you, we can have a couple of questions from the audience. Can you distribute the mic if there are?
Sir, to Anup Ambika sir of the Kerala Startup Mission. Sir, I have a doubt regarding virtual tennis.
Virtual credits, right?
Sir, virtual Wimbledon or virtual Roland Garros. Then a person in Kerala reacting with the player there at Roland Garros or Wimbledon via sensors and IoT. What are the prospects of the emerging scenario of virtual tennis?
Virtual tennis.
Virtual Wimbledon or?
Understood. Avatars and such things.
No, I mean, what are the possibilities? It is absolutely possible. That is the way I look at it. So that's where I gave the surfing example. So if your tennis racket is, let's for a moment assume that IoT powered, which means that if I'm practicing my serve, right, and I do like 20 serves, some of them are good, some of them are bad, but the data that is associated with each of those serves are being recorded. And now imagine that I can, emboss that serve with a professional player and see how it is different from some of the standard serves that a great player is making and how I could improve. If system can give me suggestions about how should I change my movements so that I attain the refinement of that particular serve.
Sir, what about a biased referee call? A biased fault call from the referee? The umpire. A fault call from the umpire. How do you deal with it?
Bias. How do you deal with the bias?
Biased referee calls.
A referee bias during a game.
During a game.
Which is an easily solvable problem, I would say, because a computer vision algorithm will be able to actually look at what has happened in the video and say whether the serve was a right one or a wrong one without a problem. And that is something that is solvable today. And I don't know,
That's true. Yes.
I'm assuming that most of the major tennis tournaments must already have.
It's already using, it's in production actually.
Yeah, you can.
We are doing this in Trivandrum Tennis Club on March 21st to 24th. We are conducting the first national virtual tennis.
Okay, sir.
To answer your question, virtual tennis is already going to be in the Olympics. If not this time, the next time guaranteed. So if you wanted to witness, you can come to our booth downstairs where you can witness the virtual tennis, how it works. Okay. And then we are trying to work with the Trivandrum Tennis Club to host the first national tennis tournament, virtual tennis tournament, March 21st to March 24th.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, in the interest of time, we'll stop here. The panelists are available offline. If there are, we can possibly take one more question. Anup has to. We can take possibly one more question.
Hello. Myself Bhargav Ram, I am founder of Sports Angel Network, and we are starting a cohort for Sports Tech Accelerator to promote innovation, research and entrepreneurship. So I would like to understand how the initiatives by the Kerala government and the startup mission would support the programs.
Unfortunately, Anup has to leave. So we can connect offline. That's my best answer. I also work for government. And if you can share the details on what you do, we'll probably be able to connect that to the government ecosystem.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you for your patient listening and for India and Kerala. Digital leveraging technology is a huge opportunity, and leveraging, as we mentioned here in the panel, leveraging it for the next, next or future will be the key. Can we leverage this for building new opportunities for our kids, our upcoming generation? Can we use this for having more international participation? Can we use it for addressing the scaling problem? Can we use it for, can we impart or introduce this as a learning opportunity in our educational system? As Mr. Srikumar mentioned, Mulan is an interesting opportunity. The one that I was mentioning is UCI. UCI is having an esports academy. Can Kerala set up something on those lines? Can we look that seriously even by the universities here, India at large? And we definitely see this as an opportunity. Anup has given us a lot of data, and documentation will also become very interesting, because once you document, you have data to work on to advance further from there. And what perspectives that Sri Bahadur Shahidi and Ms. Jemmy shared, that gives us like documentation and how important it's basically, unless otherwise you leverage technology to create the next set of opportunities. And he specifically mentioned internationalization, and can you use technology to provide good quality coaching to our kids, so that we'll have more athletes, more sportsmen coming out of this space in the international context. And that being said, yes, we have an opportunity, and let's hope that this will be the beginning of a new journey. As the gentleman mentioned, there are many initiatives across India, and in particular in Kerala, which is leveraging technology for sports, esports, not just AI, all the disruptive technologies, and how do we reinvent ourselves to enable our future generation. And with that note, thank you very much for the patient listening. Over to the organizers. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now it's time to honor our distinguished panelists. I invite Mr. K.R. Sambashivan, President, Thrissur District Sports Council, to do the honors. I invite Dr. Ashraf S., Dean, Digital University, for adorning the role of moderator and setting up the context in a beautiful manner. Sri Ravi Achanta, co-founder, CEO, NoScope Gaming. Sri Kumar, Central Head, Tata Exide. Sri Bahadur Shahidi Hanengi. Mr. Jimmy Ledberg. So we have come to the end of this technical session. Thank you one and all.
So thank you so much to all our guests for their session. Definitely their perspectives and contributions has added depth to our understanding on the particular topic. So the next session will be started shortly, and the session will be on the topic indigenous sports and tourism. In about few minutes, we will be good to start with the next session on indigenous sports and tourism. Topic indigenous sports and tourism. So I would love to invite on the stage Sri P.A. Muhammad Riaz, Honorable Minister for Tourism, onto the stage, who will be chairing the session today. Welcoming Sri P.A. Muhammad Riaz, Honorable Minister for Tourism, onto the stage, who will be chairing the session today on the topic indigenous sports and tourism. Next, I would love to invite onto the stage Sri Prem Krishnan S. IAS, Additional Director, Department of Tourism, Kerala. Inviting Sri Prem Krishnan S. IAS, Additional Director, Department of Tourism, Kerala, onto the stage, please. Next, inviting onto the stage Dr. Piyush Jain, National Secretary, PEFI and member GB Sai. Inviting onto the stage Dr. Piyush Jain, National Secretary, PEFI and member GB Sai, onto the stage. Next, I would love to invite Sri Parvinder Das, founder, Pro Panja League. Inviting onto the stage Sri Parvinder Das, founder, Pro Panja League. Next, Sri Sijin BT, MD, SMRI, onto the stage. Inviting Sri Sijin BT, MD, SMRI, onto the stage for the session on indigenous sports and tourism. Next, I would love to invite onto the stage Sri Alejandro Diaz Leda Rosa, Principal, CEO, PA Team Soccer Spain. Welcoming onto the stage Sri Alejandro Diaz de la Roca, Principal, CEO, PA Team Soccer Spain. Next, I would love to invite onto the stage Sri Kaushik Koritodiga, Sports Tourism Entrepreneur. Inviting onto the stage with pleasure Sri Kaushik Koritodiga, Sports Tourism Entrepreneur. Next, I would love to invite onto the stage Sri Jyotish Prakash, Director, Sports Exotica. Inviting onto the stage Sri Jyotish Prakash, Director, Sports Exotica. Next, I would love to invite onto the stage Dr. Gino Sebastian, Assistant Professor of Physical Education, Government Brennan College, Thalassery. And I would love to hand over the mic to our session coordinator.
A very good evening. As we know, Olympics is one of the most prestigious tourist event in the world. Sports and tourism can go together to increase the health and GDP of Kerala and India. Expecting a very fruitful discussions and deliberations on the topic, indigenous sports and tourism. In this happy occasion, I would like to invite our Honorable Minister for Tourism, Sri P.A. Muhammad Riyas. He will be arriving here very soon. On behalf of IISK, I am welcoming him and he is chairing this session also. And today's moderator, Sri Prem Krishnan, IAS, Additional Director, Department of Tourism, Government of Kerala, he is present here. On behalf of IASK, I am inviting you, sir. And very eminent personalities and experts in the field of tourism and indigenous sports are sitting here. Dr. Piyush Jain, National Secretary, Physical Education Foundation of India, and member governing body SAI is with us. We are inviting you, sir, to this session. And Sri Praveen Dabas, founder, Pro Pancha League, I am inviting you to this session. Sri Alexandro Diaz de la Rosa, manager, Team Soccer Spain, and very happy to announce that he was a former Real Madrid player, and we are inviting you, sir, to this session. Sri Sijin BT, MD, Sports Management Research Institute with us. We are inviting you, sir, to this session. And Sri Jyotish Prakash, Director Sports, Exotica, we are inviting you to this session. And Kaushik Kodathodiga, Sports, Tourism and Entrepreneur, I am inviting you to this session. And I am handing over this session to the moderator, Sri Prem Kumar IAS. Thank you.
Respected Minister Sri P.A. Muhammad Riyas Avargal, he will be joining us soon, and other dignitaries on the dais. First of all, thank you for the opportunity for becoming the moderator of this session and inviting me. I had the privilege to work as both a sports director and tourism director, so I know both these sectors really well, what exactly is happening. So the collaboration with the sports and tourism sector has always been a point of discussion, and we definitely, from the part of government, we feel that we'll be able to, both these sectors will be able to complement and supplement each other. And very recently, tourism sector has been focusing on some of the sports activities like the adventure tourism sector, like the paragliding, kayaking, etc. And both sports as well as tourism sector, tourism department conducts a lot of activities like the marathon, cycling competitions, etc. Last year only, we have conducted the Asian Mountain Biking Championship, which had participants from almost 25 countries in the world. So it boosts both, not only the sports sector, but also the tourism potential of Kerala. So today, the focus of discussion is about the potential of indigenous sports and tourism sector in Kerala. So Kerala is known for its indigenous sports like the Kalaripayattu or the famous Nehru Trophy boat race, etc., where this Nehru Trophy boat race actually attracts a lot of tourists and from across the globe. So what tourism department has actually realized this potential, and as a result what we have launched what is called as the Champions Boat League, because Nehru Trophy boat race happens in a particular date, so tourists won't be able to make it. So if suppose a tourist comes, if they want to enjoy the traditional sports or indigenous sports of Kerala like this snake boat race, they can witness this through the Champions Boat League that is happening over a span of months, so that they get more opportunity to see this sector. So this is what the tourism has been doing, because we have realized that the potential of this sports plus collaboration with the tourism can create a great economic potential for the state. And if you consider the figures also, the post-COVID, the number of tourists that is coming to Kerala has increased many-fold. And in the year 2022, we have witnessed the largest number of tourist arrivals in Kerala so far. And in 2023, we feel that the figures are going to cross higher than what is happened in 2022. So the numbers have increased. So that is why the tourism sector wants to explore new arenas of promoting the tourism sector. And one such arena that is what we call as the collaboration with the sports sector as such. So without further ado, I just want to tell that we will have a very, healthy discussion on this topic, because this is an area that has been unexplored. So there is a huge potential. There are entrepreneurs sitting here. There are people who are experienced in the field sitting here. So and one more point I want to add is that tourism, there is something called as a responsible tourism mission. The responsible tourism mission actually focus on promoting the culture and tradition of Kerala as such. So imagine if we can collaborate the sports or indigenous sports with the responsible tourism, that will create a new arena of opportunities for both the sectors. So this is a wide area of opportunity. It is open for discussion, and lot of potential is there. Tourism already contributes to 10% of Kerala's GDP and generate almost 25% of employment opportunities in Kerala. So we feel that the potential is still unexplored, and lot of employment opportunity, economic growth can be arrived if we go into new ventures, and one such thing is the collaboration with the sports sector as such. So this is what my introduction as such is. So I feel that other people sitting in the dais will be able to contribute much more towards how the collaboration can be further taken up. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Dr. Piyush Jain, National Secretary PAFI and member GBSI for this session, and let's hear from him what his thoughts on this topic is. Thank you.
Good evening, all of you. So it's a last session for today's summit, and I know the patience of our delegates that since morning they are listening about different topics. And today, in this end of the session, first of all, I would like to thank Government of Kerala, especially Department of Sports and Department of Tourism for collaborating such a very important topic. Respected today's moderator, Prem Krishna sir, our fellow speakers, Sri Praveen Dabas ji, Sri Alexander Dice ji, Sri Sijan BT ji, Jyotish Prakash ji, and Kaushik Koditokia. As we all know that India is boosting in sports since last 7-8 years. Not only Government of India, every state government is now more focusing on sports, because we all know that sports has a potential where we can indulge our youth in a healthy way. And both the topic for this discussion, indigenous sports and tourism, both are very important topics. As I said earlier, that it's a time for collaborative effort of Department of Sports and Department of Tourism. In some statistics, more than 10,870 US dollar, 10,817 millions economy in tourism, especially in sports tourism in India. And it further, our CAGR report is said that this will increase 17.1% projected in the 2033. This will increase up to 52,967 million up to 2033. So, and I think this state, Kerala state, having the potential of sports tourism. Dear friends, we all know that tourism is a boosting area, but in India, there is no sports tourism. Some of the states is doing, some of the leagues is going on, but as far as indigenous sports, we are not much aware about this tourism in indigenous sports. Kerala government or Kerala state is running this in this International Sports Summit. I mentioned this Kalaria Pattu. There are various indigenous games. Kalaria Pattu is our Kerala indigenous games, and different games, Kho-Kho, Kabaddi, Thang-Ta, these are indigenous games. But how this can be correlated with the tourism? So one of the important part is the organizing leagues, different leagues, organizing the different leagues. We have with us our Praveen Dawasa, those who are organizing the Pro Panja League. They will give in detailed discussion that how this Pro Panja League can be create the more tourism. From Ladakh, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, every state having its own game. Like Maharashtra is having the Malkham. If you visit the Maharashtra state, in evening you will find that some of the clubs is running the Malkham and Kho-Kho Kabaddi games. In our recent visit in Mumbai, I have seen Samarth Vyayam Sala where thousands of students is playing with the Malkham game. Same Kerala is Kalira Pattu. In Punjab there is Thangta game. So every state is having its own game. If we talk about this Kashmir, they have the winter sports. These are also the indigenous games. So from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, every state has having its own game. We have to promote these games. As a Sports Authority of India, as a SAI governing body member, and as a Physical Education Foundation of India General Secretary, I thought that government, Ministry of Youth and Sports, Government of India is promoting indigenous sports in its own way. We have our own system, just like Federation of Priority Sports, we are also promoting the indigenous sports. And these games, some of the games are recognized games. Kaliria Pattu is recognized, Thangta is recognized, Khelo India, we had included these games in Khelo India. Apart from this, some of the games are rope skipping. Kho-Kho Kabaddi, we all know that it's a very popular game, but it's not recognized at international level. So when we organize the Olympic games organized in here in 2036, that time we are planning that we can indulge the Kabaddi or Kho-Kho games in our Olympic games list. So those who are the indigenous games, they are not international games where we can get the medal. Every game like football, athletics, we thought only the medal. Olympic gold, silver, bronze, Commonwealth gold, silver, bronze. And we promote the games in that like way that these games are the priority sports. Indigenous games is not included in any international level event. So in India, we all have to promote the indigenous games as per the states. Government of our Ministry of Youth and Sports organized some events on the indigenous games, but they are not on that much of a scale. So if, as our director sir said, our Prem Prakash sir said, that Nehru boat race is one of the game here in Kerala. Kerala is having a water sports segment. It's good water sports area is there. So they can organize these games for the general public also, so that when public involved in these type of games, then you can flourish these games and invite the tourists. Current market size, as I mentioned earlier, 10,817 millions, and it is expected is the 52,867 millions in 2023, and growth remarkable CAGR for the sports tourism market reflecting significant extension. 39% of India's outbound sports tourists are directly paid towards cricket tournament. IPL hota hai. Such type of events, lots of foreigners, lots of international athletes came for the participation in that games. In our recent discussion with the Minister of Sports, Government of Kerala, I suggested that we have to organize these games in such a large scale where we can invite the foreign athletes also, foreign players also, and those games which is not available in the international arena, we have to promote our games in different countries. What will be the benefit for the tourist? It will be the benefit for unique experience for the tourist. Last 2 days I was in LFP. If during this tourist season, if we organize such indigenous sports type of games, then tourists will also involve in these type of games and they will find good and healthy environment. Economic impact and revenue generation. As we all know that indigenous sports industry growth can attract more tourists contributing to the tourism economy, increase revenue generation for the government also. And one of the very important part is job opportunities. I had discussed, and it is one of the very important part that here that SMRI MD is also there, that we have to start some courses on sports tourism. There is no such courses is available currently in India which is duly recognized in the sports tourism segment. So it's a very good opportunity, job opportunity, where we can start some courses. Just before 10 years, there was no courses in sports science in India. Now, 10, 11 universities is delivering the sports science courses in India. Automatically, job sectors is giving the jobs to the sports industries. Otherwise, only PE professional, BPEd, MPEd courses was running. Now, sports injury courses is running, sports biomechanics, sports science. In same pattern, if you will organize some courses in sports tourism, especially on indigenous type of sports, then definitely it will create the job opportunities also, which is the current requirement of the government, every government. For this, what will be the challenges? One of the very important challenges is the infrastructure and transportation improvement. We know that every part of the country, the transportation and infrastructure is going well. So if infrastructure is good for the different games, then surely this sports tourism will attract the more people. One of the very important part is government recognition and tourism sector. Government identified the tourism sector as Kerala government has already clubbed the Department of Sports and Department of Tourism. This will establish in community sports also. We can generate jobs for the community also. For the Kerala government, it will be a position of as a leader. As a leader, you can become the global leader for the sports tourism segment in India also, at the global level also. And very important is international and domestic tourist attraction. So these are some of the very important part. If we will start some courses in the sports tourism, and second one is the leagues in our indigenous games, that definitely attract the more tourists, more people to involve in the state level. Not only this will help in the revenue generation, but it will also the generation of the health of the country. If we thought about that earlier, these games, even indigenous sports is the every state games, but these games were played only for the health purpose. So decreasing these type of indigenous games will decrease the health of the country also. So these two factors is very important for the every state. They can organize such type of indigenous games and start the sports tourism as a career also. Thank you.
Next, thank you, Dr. Piyush Jain, for a wonderful insights into the topic of indigenous sports and tourism. Next, I would like to welcome Shri Praveen Dabas, Pro Panja League, for his session. Thank you.
Greetings everyone, and thank you to the Kerala government for inviting me, and congratulations to the Kerala government for this wonderful summit. Sports is changing in the country, and we have realized the soft power importance of sports in country image building and also the sports economy. I have to say, it's always very lovely coming back to Kerala. It's a state I have a deep connection with and a long connection with. My first film was a Malayalam film. It was called Ayappante Amma Neyapam Chuttu. Even now I have a hard time pronouncing it, but we shot it on the backwaters of Alapi. So I started film tourism much before sports tourism. But now, after 20 years in the film industry, I feel I have a much bigger role to play in nation building in sports, which has always been my parallel love. And I saw the potential for arm wrestling, or Panja as we know it, to be a sport of the masses, or as we have called it, Bharat Ka Khel, the people's game. If you see the short form of Pro Panja League, PPL, meaning people. What is great about this game, it has a very low financial entry point for all kinds of athletes and youth. We have been donating arm wrestling tables also across the country to, jaise sir bol rahe the, to encourage community sport. Mohalla Panja as we call it. We have been donating it in schools and colleges also. It keeps these youth into sports and away from other things. We are the only league also in the country which is all inclusive. On one single platform, we have men, women and specially abled, all on the same platform. They all get the same pay. According to the ranking, they get the same facilities as well. Since we're on the indigenous sports, Panja or arm wrestling is a very ancient Indian sport. You know, many countries claim it. It has been in India for a very, very long time. And it is known both as an indigenous and as an international sport, which is of great benefit to the sport. Now coming to Kerala, I have to say that 40% of our arm wrestlers come from Kerala. Not many people know this. When I tell them that, they are surprised. So I have to say I share a joke with the Kerala Arm Wrestling Association. Mr. Joji Alur is here, the secretary, Mr. Ranjit Ratnakar, committee member. If I can say it in Hindi once, मैं इनसे पूछता हूँ कि केरला के पानी में क्या है, कितने चैंपियन पंजा के आपके स्टेट से आते हैं? So I asked them, what is in the water in Kerala that so many Panja champions come out of Kerala? I'm grateful to the Kerala government, the Sports Council, that arm wrestling or Panja is already a recognized sport in Kerala. It gets a lot of state support. And since Mr. Piyush Jain was talking about recognition right now, this is a good time to request him to expedite our national recognition as well. Our first season winners were also, not surprisingly, the Kochi KD's team in Pro Panja League. So as you can see, what I'm trying to say is Panja has a huge community base and athlete base in Kerala. Now coming to arm wrestling in the country, arm wrestling in India today is known by Pro Panja League. Not many people had much hope on this game from us. A lot of people thought it's a small game, but we surprised everyone. In our first season, we had 32 million unique viewers on Sony Sports and DD Sports. And next year we are targeting 60 million. If you look at a per channel per day average, we are third in the country in our very first season after IPL and after Kabaddi, which shows that we must be doing something right, and people in the country do love arm wrestling because of its simplicity and truly being a sport of the masses. We launched Pro Panja League 3 weeks before the lockdown. It was a very big launch with the then sports minister, Mr. Kiren Rijiju, being there. And fortunately or unfortunately, after 3 weeks, we had the lockdown. And this comes to the sports tourism part of what I want to talk about. How is Pro Panja League related to sports tourism? What we strategized at that time, during the lockdown, since we had a lot of time to strategize, is that to make the sport bigger, we wanted to put it in front of big tourist destinations. And once the lockdown was over, we managed to do that. We played this sport in front of the Gateway of India. We played it in front of the Gwalior Fort. We played it inside a boat on Bhopal Lake. We played it on top of a Goa casino boat. We even played it on the banks of the Chambal Nadi, जहाँ पे डाकू होते थे. अभी पंजा हुआ था वहाँ पे. So we managed. The idea was to make the whole area into a stadium and include the tourist destination as the stadium, and that would help both the sport become bigger and the tourist destination also, and we were able to manage to build a lot of press, a lot of views and a lot of content from these tournaments that we did in front of these big tourist destinations. Now, according to us, there are two kinds of sports tourism. One is like the Olympics or FIFA, where a lot of people will come to see the sport in that destination. The second is what we are doing, which is having the sport in front of the destination itself, where the fort, the boat, that destination becomes part of your broadcast, and it is being seen by millions and millions of people. Otherwise, if you see during Olympics, FIFA, you're not actually seeing the destination. You're seeing the stadium. You're seeing bits of the city in between the broadcast. But here we are able to see that destination and take it to millions and millions of viewers. Now, arm wrestling or Panja is the only sport where you can actually do this, because it is not a very big playing field. The table size is not very big. We are able to sculpt it in front of these different tourist destinations. And that is what has made it very, very popular. Like I said, we had 32 million unique views on TV, but we also had 300 million views on social media. Nowadays, if you scroll on Instagram or something, you'll definitely see an arm wrestling or a Panja video, and you can thank us for that. Now, sports is bringing millions and millions of dollars into the economy. You know, Olympics, FIFA, the World Cup, various other international sports tournaments. And I think Panja has a natural integration into sports tourism. Right now, the whole world wants to come to India to view arm wrestling because of the Pro Panja League. It's already seen as the world's biggest arm wrestling platform. We will be hosting an Asian level event this year, an international Asian level event this year, next year as well, and very soon the World Arm Wrestling Championships as well. And here I would like to make an announcement as well. The Kerala government has been kind enough to join hands, and very soon we will be giving more details on this, but very soon you will be seeing the Pro Panja League on a houseboat in the backwaters of Alapi or in front of Kochi Fort. So we are actually bringing sports tourism to Kerala and executing it. So far, Kerala has been known as God's own country. Hopefully very soon it will be known as Panja's own country as well. And so I'd like to again thank you to the Kerala Sports and Kerala Tourism. We very much look forward to partnering with them on taking arm wrestling across the state. And just keep one thing in mind, every country in the world plays arm wrestling or Panja, just like football. And every country is a potential tourism market. With that, I would like to say thank you to everyone. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Sri Parveen Dabas, for the wonderful session. Now, I would like to welcome Sri Alejandro Diaz, Manager PA Teams, Soccer SL Spain, for his speech. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I don't usually make very long interventions. Therefore, I will not extend much my opinion on the indigenous sports tourism, but I will make clear what vision I have of it and what market opportunities are national and international level in India. First of all, I would like to thank you, International Sports Summit of Kerala, for inviting me to this great meeting of the world of sports, and also our partner here, RBS. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. Undoubtedly, all of us present here consider that the sports is the best tool for social and economic transformation of any country. Through values, we must be able to consolidate a sustainable model adapted to the growth and constant change that global competition entails. Speaking specifically about football, I must emphasize that this sport has allowed me to enjoy at a professional level in Spain, and today I develop cultural experience oriented to international sports tourism. That's why I truly believe in the opportunities that India has as a country for develop sports tourism, both inbound and outbound. I have had the good fortune to visit many parts of this world and its culture in sports. If we are able to find the interest for the new, learn and teach between countries, respecting each other, the best ways to project the domestic product and offer quality opportunities, the growth and sports tourism in India will be guaranteed. Receiving nationally thanks to the ability to develop major events, such as in international football tournaments, at amateur level for children where different culture and styles meet. In this way, being able to contribute to generate a training ecosystem from an early age through participation in this type of competition and with a base of prepared coaches, and also of a professional nature, thanks to the investment that will be made in the modernization of the new sports facilities and structure that will be able to host major international competitions. A meter to the wall to be a model country that adapt to the sporting needs of the formative development schools, clubs, academies, and in a short time, boys and girls from all over the country that through experience outside India will be able to grow in values and take the style and talent of this country around the world. To conclude, I propose a teamwork with the same goal, between countries that have different ways and vision about football and sport tourism. And one important thing to finish, remember that no one has the key of the truth, but among all of us who love sports, we can contribute to the common success of the projects. All the best always, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, I would like to welcome Sri Sijin BT, MD SMRI, for his speech.
Dear sports lovers of India and abroad, I think it is a great opportunity to share our experience. So before starting my session, I would like to ask you just one question. Everyone know the story of hare and tortoise. Even after insulting that hare for his failure for a long time, why that hare or rabbit not yet committed suicide? So you keep the answer in your mind. So actually I started when I was a student. I was a lover of Kerala Police football team. And it was the end of 20th century, and I heard the news that the Kerala Police is going to be wind up. So I started crying, and my girlfriend told, don't cry, we can try something. So we started studying why the European clubs are not winding up, but Indian clubs are getting wind up very easily. So we came to know about 2-3 words: sports management, sports engineering, sports science. So the European clubs are working with the support of sports management professionals, sports engineers and sports scientists. But in India, clubs are managed by some people with brain in their belly. So we framed a very big report and we approached a lot of associations with our idea. India has to start leagues. Then only the clubs will get maximum opportunity to play. Then only players will get maximum opportunity to play. Then only Indian players will grow to the international level. But fortunately, none of the associations accepted my ideas and they thrown me out of their cabins. I was like that rabbit. I bounced back because I realized there is another opportunity. Because life is like a game and I am going to play another game. So I approached a lot of other associations also. Then only I realized the associations will not accept an outsider. They don't need your idea. They think they have brain. Then I realized there is a group of games which don't have any association. So I got a multi-million-dollar idea. I went with that idea and I told this idea to my father. He told, "Mone, nanakku vattanu." I told this to my mother. From the very next day, she started going to church for everyday prayer. Because I was just 25 years at that point of time and I am showing some illness, mental illness. And that was the time I got married also. That's a love marriage. And my wife told, we can do this after some time. But I went and I approached a lot of people with my idea and everyone thrown me out of their cabins. Years after, from Trivandrum, I went to Cochin and I told this idea to an old journalist, sports journalist. He told, you conduct it. Why you are talking this to so many people? You do it yourself. So I decided to quit my job. I got my PF. With that PF, I conducted a professional GOTY tournament. So that GOTY tournament was a very hit because all the newspapers in Kerala reported that news and all the channels telecasted it. The same evening, my father came and asked, how many rupees you got from this? I told 0. But very next week, I got a call from Bangalore, from a company, Edu Sports, one company. They wanted to meet us. So we went to Bangalore and we discussed about the ideas and everything. and they took us to their MD's room or their founder's room. Really, we were shocked. That was Anil Kumble. They wanted to teach one simple game in schools, that is Goti. So, Goti, sometimes it is known as Vattu. Okay, so that's the relationship with Goti and me. So, we got a very big check from Anil Kumble's company. We were for creating physical education lessons for LKG to second standard using these indigenous games, Goti, Legori, Gilli Danda and hopscotch. So we started thinking, what's the benefit they are going to get, students are going to get. This is a business, okay. So that time, we realized the real power of sports. Now we are talking about sports. India sports is for getting few Olympics medals, getting some grace marks, getting some certificates, and extending our life. When we realized we are having lifestyle disease, we will start running, we will start jumping on so many things. But just think about this Goti, how marvelous it is. Actually, from we started doing some research regarding this Goti. We realized Goti is a great teacher. In management, we are teaching about SWOT analysis. The toughest of management function is decision making. Our leaders are extending or not taking any decision because they fear taking decision. But Goti is a great game. If you play regularly Goti, as a player, you will do the SWOT analysis. What will happen? My Goti will not hit other Goti. What the action I have to take this? So all these things are happening within fraction of seconds. So a Goti player will become a good decision maker or manager. Second, Goti, you will learn the basics of engineering skills. In engineering, we are talking about force, we are talking about length, we are talking about distance, we are talking about all these things. An engineer needs this. So while we are playing Goti, we are calculating the force. How much force I have to use to move that Goti. So these things actually our kids are getting from playing Goti. And moreover that, now recently we saw so many newspaper articles regarding so many fitness freaks died. Why? Please understand, exercise, physical exercise will give you only physical benefits. If you want emotional benefits and intellectual benefits, you have to play. How you have to play? You have to play without the supervision of a teacher, without the supervision of a guide. You have to play yourself in a style, whatever way you want to play. Because when you are going to a gym, think about taking sit-up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we are trying to reach 10. We are trying to reach 100. Forcefully or consciously. But while somebody is playing Goti, he is unconsciously doing the sit-ups. Several times he will do this thing. But he enjoying the game. In his mind, he is preparing a strategy to defeat the opponent. So that's the benefit of this kind of indigenous games. But unfortunately, these games are neglected. I don't want to call it as indigenous because the indigenous games of Europe, like cricket, golf, all these become international games. Indigenous games of India, like ball badminton, still it is in India. Because of the patronage of Europeans, the Indian game, that is badminton, normal badminton, that become an international game. So why we are waiting for somebody else to promote our game? Then most of the indigenous games are not our property. Goti is not the property of Indians. Goti is an universal property, that is marbles. If you search internet, you can see marbles, people across the globe playing marbles. If you search hopscotch, you can see the world playing hopscotch. People are across the world, even Obama's wife, when she came to India for the first time, she played hopscotch. But here, after 10 years, even our girls, I'm not insulting the girls, are not ready to play these games. See, hopscotch, what a wonderful game. The world's most simple exercise. Then, if you teach kids hopscotch, you can teach numericals, you can teach alphabets, you can teach so many things. Okay, that's the one side. I just talked about what are the benefits of these kind of games. So actually these games are not Indians, these are European games. And second, just one, see, we sold this goti as a gift during Valentine's Day. It was a 50 rupees pack and we told everyone, see, roses will dry, chocolate will be over, but goti will be always there. And we sold it for 50 and around 200 units we sold. After that we tried to make it a business, but now no one in India is making goti. It is coming from China, we don't want to help China. Then we approached some beverage factories. We told them, please bring back Goli soda. They told it is a wrong idea. But now we are happy that Goli soda is also coming back. So this heritage games, it is a universal property. If Kerala can initiate a Olympics of these traditional games, we will be the leaders. Like the Greece is known for modern Olympics, if Kerala will be known for childhood Olympics, Kerala will be known for Grameen Olympics. So, thank you for this great opportunity, and I would like to appreciate the government of Kerala. The real revolution after Green Revolution, White Revolution, the sports revolution in India is going to start from Kerala, and I would like to appreciate the organizers for the dareness they shown to think beyond cricket and Olympics. Thank you.
So before moving on to anything, we would love to welcome our Honorable Minister for Tourism, Sri P.A. Mohammad Riaz, to the session of Indigenous Sports and Tourism. And he will be chairing the session. Welcoming you, sir, to the International Sports Summit 2024. Welcoming you, sir.
വേദിയിലും സദസ്സിലുമുള്ള ബഹുമാന്യരെ, പ്രിയപ്പെട്ടവരെ, നമ്മുടെ സംസ്ഥാനത്തെ കായിക മേഖലയെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം ഇന്റർനാഷണൽ സ്പോർട്സ് സമ്മിറ്റ് കേരള വലിയ മാറ്റങ്ങൾക്ക് കാരണമായി മാറും എന്ന കാര്യത്തിൽ സംശയമില്ല. അതിന് നേതൃത്വം കൊടുത്ത സ്പോർട്സ് വകുപ്പ് മന്ത്രി ശ്രീ വി അബ്ദുറഹിമാനെയും അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ ടീമിനെയും പ്രത്യേകം അഭിനന്ദിക്കാൻ ആദ്യമായി ഈ വേള ഞാൻ ഉപയോഗപ്പെടുത്താൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുകയാണ്. സമ്പന്നമായ കായിക ചരിത്രമുള്ള നാടാണ് നമ്മുടെ കേരളം. ഒട്ടേറെ മികവുറ്റ കായിക പ്രതിഭകളെയും വൈവിധ്യമാർന്ന കായിക വിനോദങ്ങളും കേരളത്തിൻ്റെതായി സ്വന്തമായി തന്നെ ഉണ്ട്. ഈ കായിക പാരമ്പര്യത്തെയും മികവിനെയും കൂടുതൽ ഉയരങ്ങളിലേക്ക് എത്തിക്കുക, അവതരിപ്പിക്കുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ് അതിൻ്റെ പ്രധാന ഉത്തരവാദിത്തമായി സർക്കാർ കാണുന്നത്. ഇതുപോലുള്ള ഉച്ചകോടി സംസ്ഥാനത്തിന് വലിയ നിലയിലേക്ക് ഈ ലക്ഷ്യത്തിലേക്ക് എത്തുന്നതിന് കാരണമായി മാറും. കായിക മത്സരങ്ങൾ പല നിലയിലും ജനങ്ങളെയും ലോകത്തെയും ഒന്നിപ്പിക്കുന്നതാണ്. നമുക്കറിയാം, ഇന്ന് പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് ഇന്ത്യയിൽ ഏറ്റവും അധികം ജനസാന്ദ്രത നിറഞ്ഞ സംസ്ഥാനമായ കേരളത്തെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം കളിക്കുവാനുള്ള ഇടങ്ങൾ വലിയ നിലയിൽ കുറഞ്ഞു വരികയാണ്. ദേശീയ ശരാശരിയുടെ 3 ഇരട്ടിയാണ് കേരളത്തിൻ്റെ ജനസാന്ദ്രത. മോസ്റ്റ് തിക്ലി പോപ്പുലേറ്റഡ് സ്റ്റേറ്റ് ഇൻ അവർ കൺട്രി ഈസ് കേരള. കായിക മത്സരങ്ങൾ സംഘടിപ്പിക്കാനുള്ള കളിക്കളങ്ങൾ, ഇടങ്ങൾ ഉണ്ടാക്കുവാൻ വേണ്ടിയുള്ള വലിയ ശ്രമമാണ് പൊതുവെ ഇപ്പോൾ നടത്തി വരുന്നത്. കായിക മത്സരങ്ങൾ ജനതയും ലോകത്തെയും ഒന്നിപ്പിക്കുമെന്ന് നാം പറയുമ്പോൾ ഇതാകെ ഒരു വികാരമാണ്. ലോകത്തിൻ്റെ വിവിധ ഭാഗങ്ങളിൽ നടക്കുന്ന ജനകീയ കായിക മത്സരങ്ങളിൽ തങ്ങളുടെ ഇഷ്ട ടീമുകളെ പ്രോത്സാഹിപ്പിക്കാൻ വലിയ നിലയിലുള്ള ആവേശകരമായ നീക്കങ്ങൾ നേരിട്ട് നടത്തുന്ന നാടാണ് കേരളം. ഈ കഴിഞ്ഞ ലോകകപ്പ് ഫുട്ബോൾ നമ്മുടെ മുമ്പിൽ ഉദാഹരണമായിട്ടുണ്ട്. ലോകത്തെ പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട താരങ്ങൾ, ഞാൻ ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒന്നോ രണ്ടോ താരത്തിന്റെ പേര് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ആ പേരിൽ വേണ്ട താരങ്ങൾക്ക് വിഷമമുണ്ടാവും, അതിന്റെ ആരാധകർക്ക് വിഷമമുണ്ടാവും. ആ താരങ്ങളുടെ കട്ടൗട്ടുകൾ കേരളത്തിന്റെ ഗ്രാമാന്തരങ്ങളിൽ ഉണ്ടായതും ആ പടക്കൂറ്റൻ ഫ്ലക്സ് ബോർഡുകളും കട്ടൗട്ടുകളും BBC ഉൾപ്പെടെ റിപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്തതും ഞാനിവിടെ ഓർമ്മപ്പെടുത്താൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുകയാണ്. പ്രമുഖ ഫുട്ബോൾ രാജ്യങ്ങളുടെ ഫേസ്ബുക്ക് പേജിൽ ഇത് പ്രധാന പോസ്റ്റായി മാറിയിരുന്നു. കേരളത്തിന്റെ ഫുട്ബോൾ പ്രേമികളുടെ വികാര പ്രകടനങ്ങളും ഫുട്ബോൾ പ്രേമികൾ ഇതിന്റെ ഭാഗമായി നടത്തിയ പ്രചരണങ്ങളുമൊക്കെ വലിയ നിലയിൽ ആഘോഷമായി മാറിയിരുന്നു. കേരളത്തിലാകെ ബിഗ് സ്ക്രീനുകൾ ഉയർന്നു വന്നിരുന്നു. ബിഗ് സ്ക്രീനുകളിൽ നിന്നായിരുന്നു ലോകകപ്പ് ഫുട്ബോൾ മത്സരം കണ്ടത്. പെട്ടെന്ന് എനിക്ക് ഓർമ്മ വന്നത്, ഇവിടെ ഇരിക്കുമ്പോൾ ഞാൻ പ്രദാനം ചെയ്യുന്ന നിയോജക മണ്ഡലത്തിൽ ഒരു ബിഗ് സ്ക്രീൻ ഫറോക്ക് നല്ലൂർ സ്റ്റേഡിയത്തിൽ ഒരുക്കിയിരുന്നു. വളരെ വലിയ സ്ക്രീനായിരുന്നു. ഗാലറിയും ഒക്കെ ആയിട്ട് ആയിരക്കണക്കിന് ആളുകളാണ് കളി കാണാൻ വേണ്ടി വന്നിട്ടുള്ളത്. ഇത് കേരളത്തിന്റെ പല ഭാഗങ്ങളിൽ നമുക്ക് കാണാൻ വേണ്ടി പറ്റിയ കാര്യമാണ്. ഇതിനൊപ്പം ഇവിടെയുള്ള വിഷയമായ നമ്മുടെ തദ്ദേശീയ കായിക വിനോദങ്ങളുടെ വിപുലമായ സാധ്യതകൾ, ആ സാധ്യതകളെ കുറിച്ച് ഓർമ്മപ്പെടുത്താനാണ് ഞാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നത്. മലയാളിയുടെ പ്രത്യേകത ഇന്ന് അത്രത്തോളം ഉണ്ടെന്ന് പറയുന്നില്ല, കുറഞ്ഞു വരുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിലും ചെറുപ്പത്തിൽ തന്നെ വിവിധ കായിക മത്സരങ്ങളുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് നമ്മൾ മാറുന്നു എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. നമ്മളെല്ലാവരും, ഞാനും അതിൻ്റെ ഭാഗം തന്നെയായിരുന്നു. ചെറുപ്പത്തിൽ ഫുട്ബോളായാലും ക്രിക്കറ്റായാലും ഒക്കെ തന്നെ, ചെസ്സും ബാസ്കറ്റ് ബോളും ഷട്ടിലും ഒക്കെ എല്ലാ മത്സരങ്ങളുടെയും ഭാഗമായി മാറുന്ന ഒരു പ്രത്യേക കൾച്ചർ നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടിലുണ്ട്. ഇതോടൊപ്പം കേരളത്തിൻ്റെതായ തദ്ദേശീയമായ കായിക വിനോദങ്ങൾ അത് നിരവധിയാണ്. അതിനെ ടൂറിസവുമായി കണക്ട് ചെയ്യുവാൻ എങ്ങനെ സാധിക്കുമെന്നുള്ളതാണ് ഈ ഒത്തുകൂടലിൽ ഈ വിഷയം ആയി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് ഉയർന്നു വരുന്ന പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട വിഷയം. കേരളത്തിന്റെ വിനോദസഞ്ചാര മേഖലയെയും കായിക മേഖലയെയും കോർത്തിണക്കുവാൻ സാധ്യമാക്കുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങൾ എന്തൊക്കെ ചെയ്യാനാകും? ഇതിനകം തന്നെ സ്പോർട്സ് വകുപ്പ് മന്ത്രിയുമായി ഒരു റൗണ്ട് ചർച്ച നടത്തിയതാണ്. അതിൻ്റെ സാധ്യതകളെ ഫലപ്രദമായി എങ്ങനെ ഉപയോഗപ്പെടുത്താനാകും? ഇതിലൊരു പ്രധാന ഉദാഹരണമായി നമുക്ക് മുന്നോട്ട് വെക്കാനാകുന്നതാണ് ചാമ്പ്യൻസ് സ്പോർട്സ് ലീഗ് വള്ളംകളി. വലിയ ജനപങ്കാളിത്തമാണ് CBL ചാമ്പ്യൻസ് സ്പോർട്സ് ലീഗ് വള്ളംകളിക്ക് സൃഷ്ടിക്കാനായിട്ട്. നേരത്തെ അത് ഒന്നോ രണ്ടോ ജില്ലകളിലാണെങ്കിൽ അത് മലബാറിലേക്കും വ്യാപിപ്പിക്കാൻ ചാലിയാറിലും കണ്ണൂർ ജില്ലയിലെ അഞ്ചരക്കണ്ടി പുഴ വരെ എത്തിക്കാൻ CBLന് ഇത്തവണ സർക്കാരിൻ്റെ തീരുമാനത്തിൻ്റെ ഭാഗമായി സാധിച്ചു. നദികളിലും കായലുകളിലുമായി നടക്കുന്ന CBLനെ ജനകീയമായി മാറ്റിത്തീർക്കാനുള്ള ശ്രമമുണ്ടായി. ഇത് കേവലം ഒരു പ്രാദേശിക ചാമ്പ്യൻഷിപ്പ് മാത്രമായിരുന്നില്ല, അന്താരാഷ്ട്ര തലത്തിൽ ശ്രദ്ധിക്കപ്പെടുന്ന തരത്തിലേക്ക് ഇത് വളരുകയും ചെയ്തു. കേരളത്തിലെ ചില പ്രദേശങ്ങളിൽ മാത്രം അറിയപ്പെട്ടിരുന്ന വള്ളംകളി, ആ വള്ളംകളി മത്സരങ്ങൾക്ക് അന്താരാഷ്ട്ര ഖ്യാതി നേടിയെടുക്കാനായത് ഈ വള്ളംകളികളിലെ IPL മാതൃകയിൽ ലീഗ് രൂപത്തിലേക്ക് മാറ്റിയതോടെയാണ്. ഇതോടെ കേരളത്തിന്റെ പരമ്പരാഗത കായിക ഇനമായ വള്ളംകളിക്ക് സാർവദേശീയമായ അംഗീകാരവും പ്രോത്സാഹനവും ലഭിക്കുന്ന രീതിയിലേക്ക് കാര്യങ്ങൾ മാറി. 138 അടിയോളം നീളമുള്ള ചുണ്ടൻ വള്ളങ്ങൾ, 100-ലധികം തുഴക്കാർ, ഒരേ ദിശയിൽ കൃത്യതയോടെയും അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഒരേ താളത്തിലും തുഴയുന്നതിന് സാധ്യമാകുന്ന കാഴ്ച മനോഹരമായ കാഴ്ചയാണ്. ലോകത്തിന്റെ എല്ലാ കോണുകളിൽ നിന്നുമുള്ള വിനോദസഞ്ചാരികളെ ആകർഷിക്കാൻ നമ്മുടെ വള്ളംകളിക്ക് സാധിക്കും. ഇത് നമ്മുടെ സംസ്കാരത്തിൻ്റെയും പാരമ്പര്യങ്ങളുടെയും നമ്മുടെ കായിക താരങ്ങളുടെ മികവിൻ്റെയും ആഘോഷമാണ്. നമ്മൾ തദ്ദേശീയ കായിക വിനോദങ്ങളെ സ്വീകരിക്കുകയും പ്രോത്സാഹിപ്പിക്കുകയും ചെയ്യുന്നതിലൂടെ നമ്മുടെ സമ്പന്നമായ പൈതൃകം സംരക്ഷിക്കുക മാത്രമല്ല, അതിനൊപ്പം തന്നെ നമ്മുടെ സംസ്ഥാനത്ത് ടൂറിസത്തിനും സാമ്പത്തിക വികസനത്തിനും പുതിയ വഴികൾ തുറന്നിടുക കൂടിയാണ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. നമ്മുടെ കേരളത്തിന്റെ പ്രത്യേകത 44 നദികൾ, 550 കിലോമീറ്റർ തീരദേശം, മനോഹരമായ ഹിൽ സ്റ്റേഷനുകൾ, ഇതൊക്കെ ഉൾക്കൊള്ളുന്നതാണ്. കേരളത്തിന്റെ വൈവിധ്യമാർന്ന ഭൂപ്രകൃതി, കയാക്കിംഗ്, സർഫിംഗ്, തുടങ്ങിയ കായിക വിനോദങ്ങളിൽ താല്പര്യമുള്ള സാഹസിക കായിക പ്രേമികൾക്ക് അനുയോജ്യമായ അന്തരീക്ഷം ഒരുക്കുന്നു. നേരത്തെ സർഫിംഗ് വർക്കലയിലായിരുന്നു പ്രധാന കേന്ദ്രമെങ്കിൽ ഈ ഗവൺമെന്റ് വന്നതിന് ശേഷം ഇന്ത്യയിൽ ആദ്യമായി ഒരു സംസ്ഥാന സർക്കാർ ഒരു സർഫിംഗ് അക്കാഡമിക്ക് രൂപം കൊടുത്തു എന്നുള്ള സന്തോഷ വിവരവും പ്രത്യേകം അറിയിക്കാൻ ഈ വേള ഞാൻ ഉപയോഗപ്പെടുത്താൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുകയാണ്. കയാക്കിംഗ് ഇതേപോലെ തന്നെ വികസിപ്പിക്കാനുള്ള വലിയ ശ്രമം നടത്തുന്നു. കയാക്കിംഗ് അക്കാഡമി ഇതുപോലെ ഈ ഘട്ടത്തിൽ ഈ ഗവൺമെന്റ് വന്നതിന് ശേഷം രൂപം കൊടുത്ത് മുന്നോട്ട് പോയിട്ടുണ്ട്. മലബാർ റിവർ ഫെസ്റ്റിവൽ, ഇന്റർനാഷണൽ പാരാഗ്ലൈഡിംഗ് ഫെസ്റ്റിവൽ, ഇന്റർനാഷണൽ സർഫിംഗ് ഫെസ്റ്റിവൽ എന്നിവയുൾപ്പെടെയുള്ള അന്താരാഷ്ട്ര ചാമ്പ്യൻഷിപ്പുകൾ സംഘടിപ്പിക്കുകയാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ ടൂറിസം വകുപ്പ്. ഇത്തരം ചാമ്പ്യൻഷിപ്പുകൾക്ക് ആതിഥേയത്വം വഹിക്കുന്നതിലൂടെ കേരളത്തിന്റെ ടൂറിസം കായിക വിനോദ സാധ്യതകൾക്ക് വലിയ പ്രചാരം നേടാനാകുമെന്ന് ഉറപ്പാണ്. ചാമ്പ്യൻസ് ബോട്ട് ലീഗ് പോലുള്ള ചാമ്പ്യൻഷിപ്പുകളുടെ വേദിയിൽ കേരളത്തിന്റെ അതുല്യമായ കായിക പൈതൃകം പ്രദർശിപ്പിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് മുന്നോട്ട് പോകാനും ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. ഉദാഹരണത്തിന് നിരവധി കളികളുണ്ട്. ഇവിടെ ഇപ്പോൾ ഗോട്ടികളിയെ കുറിച്ച് ഇവിടെ സൂചിപ്പിച്ചു. സെവൻസ് ഫുട്ബോൾ കേരളത്തിന്റെ മാത്രമായിട്ടുള്ള പ്രത്യേകതയാണ്. സെവൻസ് ഫുട്ബോൾ പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് മലബാറിലൊക്കെ എല്ലാ നിലയും ഒരു ഗ്രാമങ്ങളുടെയും ആവേശമാണ്. ചാമ്പ്യൻസ് ബോട്ട് ലീഗ് വള്ളംകളി നടക്കുമ്പോൾ സെവൻസ് ഫുട്ബോളും അതുപോലെ തലപ്പന്ത് കളി നമ്മുടേതായ പ്രത്യേകതയാണ്. ഇത്തരത്തിലുള്ള തദ്ദേശിക കായിക വിനോദങ്ങളെ സംഘടിപ്പിക്കാനും ടൂറിസം വകുപ്പ് ആലോചിക്കുന്നുണ്ട് എന്നുള്ള സന്തോഷ വിവരം നിങ്ങളെ പ്രത്യേകം അറിയിക്കാൻ ഞാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുകയാണ്. നമ്മൾ പൊതുവെ പരിശോധിക്കുമ്പോൾ കേരളത്തിൻ്റെതായ പല അച്ചീവ്മെന്റുകളുമുണ്ട് സ്പോർട്സ് മേഖലയിൽ. ആ അച്ചീവ്മെന്റുകളെ എങ്ങനെ ഉപയോഗപ്പെടുത്താനാകും? ഇപ്പോൾ വിദേശ രാജ്യങ്ങൾ എടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അവിടെ സോക്കർ ടൂറിസം സ്പെയിനിൽ ഒരു പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട സഞ്ചാരികളെ ആകർഷിക്കുന്ന ഒരു ഇനമാണ്. അവിടെ ബാർസിലോണ മ്യൂസിയം ഉണ്ട്, പോയവർക്കറിയാം. ആ സ്റ്റേഡിയം തന്നെ ഒരു ടൂറിസ്റ്റ് കേന്ദ്രമാണ്. ബാർസിലോണ ക്ലബ്ബ് നടത്തിയ മത്സരങ്ങൾ, അവരുടെ വിജയം, അതിൽ കളിക്കാരണിഞ്ഞ ബൂട്ട് ഉൾപ്പെടെ ഗ്രൗണ്ട് ഉൾപ്പെടെ സഞ്ചാരികൾ വിവിധ രാജ്യങ്ങളിൽ വന്ന് അത് ഇഷ്ടപ്പെടുന്ന സ്ഥിതിയാണല്ലോ. അതുപോലെ നമ്മുടെ രാജ്യത്തെ, നമ്മുടെ സംസ്ഥാനത്തെ പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട ടൂറിസ്റ്റ് ഇനങ്ങളെ, സ്പോർട്സ് ഇനങ്ങളെ സഞ്ചാരികൾക്ക് ആകർഷകമാകുന്ന നിലയിലേക്കുള്ള ഒരു സ്പോർട്സ് മ്യൂസിയം നമുക്ക് രൂപം കൊടുക്കാൻ സാധിക്കേണ്ടതുണ്ട്. അത് രൂപം കൊടുക്കാനുള്ള ശ്രമങ്ങൾ സ്പോർട്സ് വകുപ്പ് മന്ത്രിയുടെ നേതൃത്വത്തിൽ നടക്കുന്നു എന്നുള്ളത് ഏറെ സന്തോഷകരമാണ്. നമ്മളേറെ ആകർഷിക്കുന്ന നമ്മുടെ ഹൗസ് ബോട്ടുകൾ, ആ ഹൗസ് ബോട്ടുകളിൽ നമുക്ക് വലിയ നിലയിൽ ചെസ് ടൂർണമെന്റുകൾ സംഘടിപ്പിക്കാനാകും. കേരളത്തിൻ്റെതായ തദ്ദേശീയ മത്സരങ്ങൾ സംഘടിപ്പിക്കാനാകും. സൈക്ലിംഗ് കോമ്പറ്റീഷനുകൾ ഇപ്പോൾ പലതും നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ നടത്തിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നു. അത് കുറെ കൂടി കേരളത്തിൻ്റെതായ പ്രത്യേകതകളെ ഉൾക്കൊണ്ടുകൊണ്ട് നടത്താൻ വേണ്ടി നമുക്ക് സാധിക്കും. ഇങ്ങനെ ഒട്ടേറെ തദ്ദേശീയ മത്സരങ്ങളുണ്ട്. അതൊക്കെ ടൂറിസവുമായി കോർത്തിണക്കിക്കൊണ്ട് നടത്താനാകും. പ്രസിദ്ധമായ മാരത്തോൺ നമുക്കിവിടെ നടത്താൻ സാധിക്കേണ്ടതുണ്ട്. ദുബായ് മാരത്തോൺ കേരളത്തിൽ നടത്താനുള്ള തയ്യാറെടുപ്പുകൾക്ക് സംസ്ഥാന സർക്കാർ, മുഖ്യമന്ത്രി തന്നെ മുൻകൈയെടുത്ത് മുന്നോട്ട് വരുന്ന സന്തോഷ വിവരവും നിങ്ങളെ പ്രത്യേകം അറിയിക്കാൻ ഈ വേള ഞാൻ ഉപയോഗപ്പെടുത്താൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുകയാണ്. അതിലൂടെ നിരവധി സഞ്ചാരികൾ നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടിലേക്ക് കടന്നു വരും. ഇതൊക്കെ ഫലപ്രദമായി ഉപയോഗപ്പെടുത്തി നമുക്ക് മുന്നോട്ട് പോകാമെന്ന് മാത്രം സൂചിപ്പിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ടൂറിസത്തെയും സ്പോർട്സ് മേഖലയും കോർത്തിണക്കിക്കൊണ്ട് സാധ്യമാകുന്ന എല്ലാ കാര്യങ്ങളും ചെയ്യാൻ ടൂറിസം വകുപ്പ് എല്ലാ നിലയിലും തയ്യാറാണ് എന്നുള്ള വിവരം ഇവിടെ അറിയിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് നിർത്തുന്നു. നന്ദി, നമസ്കാരം.
Ladies and gentlemen, our Honorable Minister of Tourism, Sri P.M. Muhammad Riyas is in a busy schedule. He is just leaving. As a token of love, we are giving a memento to him. I invite the Sports Council President of Kottayam to give away the memento to him. Sir, please receive the memento. Thank you, sir. Session continues.
Thank you, Honorable Minister Sri P.A. Muhammad Riaz Awargal for his wonderful speech on sports and tourism. Now, I would like to welcome Sri Jyotish Prakash, Director of Sports Exotica, for his session.
Good evening, all. Namaskaram. ഞാൻ സ്പോർട്സ് എക്സോട്ടിക്ക എന്ന എക്സ്പീരിയൻഷ്യൽ സ്പോർട്സ് ടൂറിസം സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പിൻ്റെ ഒരു കോഫൗണ്ടറാണ്. എൻ്റെ മറ്റ് രണ്ട് കോഫൗണ്ടേഴ്സായ സഞ്ജു സാമുവൽ ആൻഡ് രാജു മാത്യു ഓൾസോ ഹിയർ. ഇൻഡിജിനസ് സ്പോർട്സ് tourism and also unique sports are supposed to be my topic today. So when we talk about general sports tourism, it is always connected with a spectator tourism. People are traveling to watch a particular tournament, World Cup, cricket or football or English Premier League or Spanish League, even IPL or ISL. That particular economy of sports tourism is automatically happening. When a large scale event is happening, a natural inspiration coming to people to watch that. That will automatically happen. But how will we trigger or encourage a different set of tourism, which is experiential sports tourism or active sports tourism? In experiential or active sports tourism, the sports traveler himself or herself participating or traveling to participate in that particular event. Similarly, there are lot of business, sports business happening in Europe and US, wherein people are traveling to different destinations to participate in a particular event which is happening in a particular destination. And it creates a lot of business in the local economy. From taxi people to local hotels, to tax generating revenue, these very minute local economy is benefited through sports tourism and through active sports tourism. We have recently organized Cook on Sand, the toughest beach run in the world, as the Indian replica of Red Bull Quicksand. Red Bull Quicksand is known as toughest 1-mile beach race in the world. We organized in Alleppey, and there were 700 people, 700 runners as men and women participated in that. There were participants from UK and US, participants from Pan India, participants from 10 states joined in that. And those people traveled couple of days before to Alleppey and spent their time. They also brought families. They participated in that run. So the local economy as well as the whole Kerala state is benefited through that travel. Their families traveled along with them. When we speak about the indigenous sport, the main indigenous sport we have is a boat race, Nehru Trophy boat race. Now it is expanded as CBL, Champions Boat League. That is also spectator tourism, wherein we are inspiring a lot of people to come and see this. First time I witnessed Nehru Trophy boat race a couple of months back, and it was awesome experience, exhilarating experience as a tourist or as a spectator. But what I was thinking about, how we can enable sports travelers to participate in that. If we can market well in the other parts of the country as well as abroad, we can bring people to participate as a royal and make them come here before 15 or 20 days, give them a training and make them participate in that. So along with the professionals, 30 or 50 people can also row the snake boat, which can accommodate 110 people. This way, they will also feel that I am getting participated or I am getting that experience of the particular sport. നമ്മളൊരു സ്പോർട്ടിൽ എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് കിട്ടണമെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ കണ്ട് മാത്രം എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ഇറ്റ്സ് ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ്. ഐ എം എ ക്രിക്കറ്റർ. I watch cricket in TV. I also go to watch matches. But I will not get the satisfaction of getting onto the ground, padding up, bowling to a batsman. That particular enjoyment I'll never get by watching. So how we are going to tap that particular market? Indian sports tourism industry is currently calculated at 10,800 million US dollars, which also includes IPL, ISL, etc. And it is at a 17% of CAGR. In 10 years, it is going to grow at 53,000 US dollars. How we are going to take a small part in a cup or in a spoon or in a bucket, how we are going to take a part of that money. We need to think of it, collectively think of it, create events wherein tourists, sports travelers can participate in that. We are associated or partnered with Red Bull and convince them to bring their international events to India. We are also pushing the first events, such kind of events, to happen in Kerala, such as international beach volley or international beach soccer, which definitely I can get support from the KFA. So I believe there are a lot of scope for active sports tourism or in experiential sports tourism, wherein sports travelers, irrespective of their caste, creed, religion, age, can come and participate. Earlier, normally it happens at 30 plus age category is the people who travels as a sports traveler. Because when we used to study, കളിക്കാൻ നിൽക്കണ്ട, നേരെ പോയി പഠിക്കൂ, എൻട്രൻസ് എക്സാം വരുന്നുണ്ട്, അടുത്തത് എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് ആണ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മെഡിസിൻ ആണ്, or you are going to do chartered accountancy, you cannot play now, your 12th exam is there. So these people who have got into a job, then initial 5 to 10 years they are getting the pressure of building a career. Again, they are not going to enjoy their forgotten spot. After 30 or 35, when they want to brush up their sports, only thing is that to participate in these kind of events, because they cannot go back and take a slot in the 11 of a football team or cricket team. So they have to subscribe to such events which is perfectly managed in those destinations. When we had a discussion with Sri Lanka Tourism,
They immediately accepted our invitation and they connected us through their sports tourism officer. So a country smaller than Kerala or same as Kerala can employ or engage a sports tourism officer to develop sports tourism economy in there. Why can't we as a country of 140 crore people engage with so much beautiful destination in our hand, and Kerala can do a great part in that. We need to take a major chunk of the sports tourism market and economy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Jyotish, for your insights. Now I would like to welcome Sri Kaushik Oditotika, sports tourism entrepreneur, for his session.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for this opportunity. My name is Kaushik. I'm from Calicut. I'm based out of Singapore. I work for a IT company. What am I doing here? So first of all, in the last 24 hours, this is a dream come true for me as an entrepreneur to meet the Honorable Chief Minister, Sports Minister, Tourism Minister, and the Revenue Minister. You name it, all of them in the last 24 hours. And what are we all talking about? Talking about sports. What an amazing achievement. So first of all, congratulations. And thanks to all of you who traveled from various places to talk about developing tourism and sports together. Another dream come true for me. In the interest of everyone's time, I'll quickly share my journey. I'm from Calicut, grew up by the banks of Chalia River, and it was very normal for me to start a simple kayaking club because nobody was kayaking in the river. And the river is beautiful, but nobody is using it. And then we tend to pollute it. So that's how we started using the river. And then we found the opportunities. The tourism minister spoke about Malabar River Festival, which has started 12 years ago. So we took part in that as a kayaking participants. We introduced kayaks, then we moved on, added touring kayaks, sporting kayaks, sea kayaks, surf skis. So today, I run a small enterprise in Calicut that makes about 1.2 crore revenue from pure sports. And initially we started targeting tourists because tourists want experience, right? When they come somewhere, they like the food, they like the hotel, but what am I going to do? So they want some experience. So that's how sailing or surfing or kayaking or even other activities. So I'm responsible for water sports as my primary sport, but it's not only water sports. We have climbing, we have archery, we have giant chess. There's a lot of sporting activity that we created. So one of my objectives of coming here from Singapore is to get into a project with the government. So we are discussing investment projects where India is growing. It's a giant, as we all know, and it's very natural for investors to come to India, and they need people who's taken the risk and invested in India. So I'm one of them. I've earned my money outside India and I've invested in India as my retirement game. So I've put my neck in India. I can easily attract investors because I see it. I've put my own money here. So today, Jellyfish, in the last 10 years, we have franchisee model. So we are offering very entry-level business opportunity in sporting. So with 10 lakh rupees, anybody can start a kayaking club anywhere in India. Of course, Kerala will be ideal because of the natural beauty. And a lot of resorts do not want to take the risk themselves. So they're smartly inviting entrepreneurs to start sporting activity. Now kayaking itself, not every kayak you can go into a sporting world. Just like cycling or even running. We all go for run, but we don't go to Olympics. So sporting, there are many objectives. recreation, focus, fitness, these days de-addiction, mental wellness, and of course professional sporting. So we all need to know what is sporting is. We like playing football, but we never wanted to be an athlete, like someone here. But then what happens if you become an athlete? You work hard and then you don't earn much. Of course, if you work for Real Madrid, you earn probably, but generally speaking. So this is an opportunity for everyone to earn. What are you going to do when you retire? Now, you retire at a very young age as a sportsman, right? We are as good as what we do. So there's a lot of business opportunities, and I'm very happy to have one-on-one chat with you on what we can do. You know, you can start a surfing club for 5 lakh rupees. These days, youngsters buy a motorbike for more than that. So for 5 lakhs, you can start a surf club or a dive club and attract tourists and make a living. I have some employees working with me where they used to do fishing and used to make 500 rupees a day. Now they earn a salary and they're very happy being part of a sporting world. They're proud about being kayaking instructors or surfing instructors and things like that. So come and talk to me if you want to get into water sports. I'm happy to help you. It could be any project. If you have a lot of money, even better. But even if you don't have money, we can discuss. And I want to thank everyone here for making this opportunity. Thanks to Tourism Department, especially for having this kind of platform where people like us feel very happy and proud to be part of. Thank you very much.
So we have come to the end of the session. Just to conclude, we had a very wonderful session in which the speakers talked in length and breadth about what exactly the collaboration with tourism and sports can bring benefits to the country and as well as Kerala. The Honorable Minister was actually talking about the new opportunities like sports museum, the opportunities in sports tourism, how you can conduct a chess tournament in a houseboat, cycling competitions, marathon competition, Dubai Marathon, so which actually shows the enthusiasm the government actually carries in this tourism as well as the sports sector. Dr. Piyush Jain, he pitched in a wonderful idea of importance of sports to our economy and different leagues that can be conducted. And more importantly, one idea that he pitched in was the idea of sports tourism course, which can create an employment opportunities in this sector. Then Parveen Dabas, he talked about the one interesting fact that I noticed was like, since he started the league, he was telling that 40% of arm wrestlers come from Kerala. That was a fact which was known to, I didn't know this. I think many of you might have heard this for the first time. So he has taken this arm wrestling to a next level, and one idea that he has promoted was like how a sports like arm wrestling can promote a destination, and thereby collaboration of sports and tourism can be achieved in that. Sri Alexandro, he talked about collaboration, football and exchange of coaches. That is a wonderful idea that sports department has been working upon. Shijin, that one thing Mr. Shijin talked about was about his experience in how taking a very small sport that we usually play during our childhood times, the Goti, which can be taken into a next level. He talked about SWOT analysis, how engineering skills are promoted in children when you go for this sports like Goti. So, and his experience, his journey through this entire sector, that was wonderful insight for many of us. Jyotish Prakash, I know him for a very long time. He talked about, we have actually collaborated during the Quicksand event last year. He talked about how an international brand like Red Bull can be brought to Kerala, which can actually promote the destination in the international level, plus a lot of sporting activities can be done. He also threw some insights into the sports economy, international beach volleyball, soccer, etc. A lot of ideas were there. Finally, Mr. Kaushik, really inspiring. He was talking about how a small kayaking club can be transformed into this kind of institution where he can provide employment to a lot of people, and the idea that with a 5 lakh rupees when somebody can start a surfing club, I hope that lot of people will get inspired from this and more people are come to this stage, come to this sector as such. So we have reached the concluding session. Now if anybody has any questions to ask, we will spare 2-3 minutes. You can ask the speakers if you have any questions regarding the session that was conducted. Thank you. So I hope that there are no questions. So thank you all for listening to us. Yeah, you have any question? Yeah, please.
Good evening all. How can we promote water sports activities in the name of sports tourism?
Hello. Hi. So if you want to start water sports, first you have to understand what is the water sports. For some people, water sports can mean taking a jet ski or taking a kayak. A jet ski costs, 50 lakhs. Kayak can cost from 50,000 rupees. So what is the water sports that you think is needed, right? If you go to a touristic area, let's say you go to Goa, where a lot of tourists comes, they obviously can spend on higher income activity like jet skis and all that. So you really have to do some studies. What kind of tourists come to your place? What do they like? If they like natural activities, selling them a jet ski, I will not recommend. So people come to, let's say, Alleppey for enjoying the beauty of backwaters. They like the quietness. You don't want a highly powered jet ski there. So you have to really know what it is. If there is a bird sanctuary, if there are fishermen, jet ski is not a good idea. And I'm not against jet ski. I'm just letting you know the sensitivity. So starting a jet ski in a bird sanctuary, you're probably going to waste your money. So water sports is a huge area. For some people, it can be kayaking. For some people, it's a polo is a water sports. So you have to really, like any business, you have to do research. You have to know the equipment costs. You have to know the resources available. And if you want to discuss, talk to people like us. And Kerala Tourism has a wing called Kerala Adventure Tourism Promotion Society. They have laid all the safety guidelines and they have a team. So I'm also part of the committee, so you can approach them. Sports Council has, again, District Sports Council has rules. What are the sports? A lot of people think kayaking, you buy a kayak for 20,000, you can go to Olympic. These are specific kayaks, K1s, and then canoeing, you have C1s. So you have to buy those equipments. They're not available locally. You have to import them. So you have to really know the difference between professional sporting and what a tourist wants. Okay, so basic study, know your finances, know your revenue, and talk to people who's already made that mistake. So talk to people like us. There are a lot of people in Kerala who's invested. That's my advice.
So any more questions? Think. Yeah, can conclude then. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, now it's our pleasure to present tokens of appreciation to our esteemed guest. At first I invite Sri Prem Krishnan, IAS, the chair of this session, and memento will be given by Dr. Baiju Varghese Kurikal, President DSC Kottayam. I invite both of you.
Dr. Piyush Jain, National Secretary, PFI and member GBSI. Sri Praveen Dabas, founder Pro Pancha League. Sri Alessandro Diaz de la Rosa, former Real Madrid player. Sri Sijin BT, MD, Sports Management Research Institute. Sri Jyotish Prakash, Director, Sports Executive. Sri Kaushik Koditodiga, Sports Tourism Entrepreneur. Thank you. Have a nice day.
And that was the session on indigenous sports and tourism. We extend our gratitude to all the esteemed guests for your session on the particular topic, and your valuable perspectives and contributions has given depth to our understanding of the respective topic as well. Definitely your expertise and contributions were invaluable, and we really appreciate the time you dedicated for sharing the knowledge. Once again, extending our heartfelt gratitude to all the esteemed guests for your session on indigenous sports and tourism. So once again, we all are witnessing the International Sports Summit of Kerala 2024, which is extending from 23rd of January to 26th of January 2024.
ഇവിടെ കൂടിയിരിക്കുന്ന നല്ലവരായ എല്ലാവരോടും ഒരു കാര്യം കൂടെ പ്രത്യേകം അഭ്യർത്ഥിക്കുകയാണ്. വളരെ നല്ല ഒരു ഇ സ്പോർട്സ് എക്സിബിഷൻ ബേസ്മെന്റ് 2-ൽ നമുക്കായിട്ട് കമ്പനി അറേഞ്ച് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇന്ത്യയിലെ പ്രമുഖമായ മാളുകളിൽ നമ്മൾ വില കൊടുത്ത് ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്ന പലതരം ഐറ്റംസ് അവിടെ എക്സിബിറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. നമുക്ക് അത് കണ്ടാസ്വദിക്കാം, ഒപ്പം അതിൽ പങ്കാളിയാവാം.